mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family. It's your mother and your father.
Your father.
Your mother and your father.
Yes.
Can I start out with an anecdote?
Oh, please.
First of all, love that word. May I start out with an
Don't
anecdote?
really know what it means.
If you asked me the definition,
It's kind of one of those things where you're like, ooh, it's like a thing. It's like I know it when I see it. You know?
An anecdote is like,
Right.
you know, a little story.
Ooh, a little tale. Okay, love it.
Tale to regale you with.
Ooh,
right?
regale. The pageant.
I just want to talk about my wonderful child who makes me laugh so much.
Oh
and I feel
my
like it's
gosh.
been a moment since I told an Ember tale. And I want to tell you about it
Okay,
because it made me giggle. First of all, it made me giggle. Second, I do think just for all of us in general as a family unit,
Okay.
it's a good life motivation. It's good life energy.
I mean, Ember's full of that.
She's full of incredible wisdom and life energy. So let us learn at her feet with this anecdote.
Okay.
So last night, by the way, we'll get into this in a minute, but you know, with her acting, etc., she was filming a self-tape.
Okay.
And the character that she was playing was very much the opposite of her. Ember
Yeah.
is, if you haven't met Ember in person, Ember is like the most charismatic, bubbly. We'll tell you, Jim Carrey is her personal
Yes.
acting. He's her god.
Inspo,
Inspo,
yeah.
like that's everything to her. Okay, so and that's her constant energy in life. This character that she was auditioning for, very deadpan, very, very dry,
Right.
just kind of kept it even keel the entire time. And so while she was going over the lines, I joked with her and I say, when you film it, it's like, Ember, give me nothing. Ember, just
Yeah.
give me nothing. And without missing a beat, Ember looked at me and she said, well, I can't give you nothing because I'm everything.
Yes. Of course she said that. That's...
I can't give you nothing because I'm everything
Wow.
is my new life
just kinda
motto.
sitting on
Like
that now.
sit in that. Like, no, I can't give you nothing. I'm everything.
It's hard to...
No, I can't.
Not, I'll do my best.
I refuse to give you nothing because I am everything.
I am everything.
And we laughed so hard because obviously she knew I was joking with her when I said,
Right.
Ember, give me nothing.
Right,
Serve nothing, you know, whatever, because it was just so
Right.
different from her. But she was just like, I'm everything.
I'm everything.
And I looked at her and I go, you know what? That's my new...
That's your new tattoo.
life
I mean,
energy.
That could be a million things.
It says like every time they tell you you're too much, every time they're like, just chill. It's like, no, of course I'm too much. I'm everything.
Like, don't dim my light.
Do not
'Cause
cover
it's lighting up this whole room.
Exactly.
Just because you have very little, don't come at me, world.
Exactly. I am everything.
Wow. It's hard to give you nothing. It's hard to give you nothing because I have a lot of energy. It's hard to give you nothing because I don't really know what. It's like, no, I refuse to because I
give
am
you
everything.
nothing because I am everything. And I said, wow,
guys-
wow.
And it's incredible to watch Ember because that's kind of her all the time.
All the time.
And if you haven't been around someone like that, it's hard to kind of imagine because most of us aren't that way, like brimming with positivity. Like she'll just walk in the room sometimes and look at me and go, don't you love my smile? And it's like, that means that she was looking at herself in the mirror, smiling, and be like, "Wow, I love that smile, that kid. Oh wait, that's me." And then sharing it with other people, being like, "Don't you love it?"
I know.
And it's like, if I could have 0.5% of that, it would be incredible.
I don't know where she came from, but my God, am I grateful. I'm so grateful because not only is she super self-affirming, but she's also super affirming to everybody else too.
Yeah.
Like she'll pop into my room and be like, hey, I'll be in the middle of something. She'll be like, hey, just FYI, best mom ever. I'm like, I'm definitely not, but I appreciate it. It's so nice.
100%.
Okay, also, can I tell you, sorry, now I'm like on anecdote an anecdote run. But another thing that Ember said a couple days ago that rewired my brain when it comes to thinking about guilty pleasures, which, by the way, it's just like kids. It's so cool. Like when you sit down with a kid and like chat, the way that you're like, all of a sudden I'm thinking about things in a new perspective. Obsessed.
Yeah.
But Ember fully like rewired my brain the other day with the concept of guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
So she heard a Pearl Jam song for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
So she heard Even Flow on a hill like butterfly. And so the music's playing and we're like, Ember, do you like the song? And she pauses for a second and she goes, yeah, but no, but you know when you eat something and you don't like the taste of it, but you gotta keep eating it? That's how I feel about this song. And I was like, that's the perfect way to describe guilty pleasure music and TV shows and all that. I'm like, I don't like the way it tastes, but I just want to keep eating it.
I shouldn't like this, but there's something about it.
Or even like, I don't like it, but I do like it, but I don't like it, but I do like it. I'm like, how else do I describe that exactly?
Well, it's that like when you don't have, when you're a kid and you don't have any other like ways of thinking about stuff, you come up with like super creative ways of saying things. You know what I mean?
It's like when you talk to a kid for a second, you're like, whoa.
Wait, are you really a child or are you actually
God,
in the future?
You're so wise.
Yes. No, she's full of those. Because she also just like says it. She doesn't like, she just says what she's thinking. So she's like, there's sometimes what comes out is, a book.
I definitely, I'm sure this is out there, but I would love to get a book from teachers of like all the thoughts and wisdoms. It's got to be out there, but I'm sure it's gem after gem.
Gem after gem. And yeah, I can't imagine what teachers hear.
That's true. But you know what? I'm done with all of these like Instagram, these influencers who are all like grind set, mindset.
Oh, yeah.
This affirmation, that affirmation. I just want to get a book from teachers of things that kids say. I'm like, this is going to be 10 times better.
Honestly, babe, that's a brilliant idea.
I'm sure there's probably tons out there already.
I guess so.
I can guarantee it's something I Google and it's just like
I can also be very guilty of like hearing an idea and being like, that's brilliant. That's never been done when in reality everyone's like, yeah, that's probably been done a million times. I think every idea is the first time it's ever thought of.
You're like, I have this great idea for this show. It's where these people who are really good at singing, they go on the stage and there's judges there, but they can't see them.
Hear me out.
There's something where it's like maybe there's either a curtain or their chairs are turned.
There's
something.
Like one mean judge, one nice one.
But like they can't see them because like they're not going to judge them on their physical appearance versus their voice. And then they like, what are your thoughts? Do you think it would work?
I don't know, but there is a brilliance there.
I have another idea, another show. People love ballroom dancing. It's gorgeous. It's romantic. What if we had like people who aren't professionals doing it? Like, I don't know.
What if we were celebrities?
So like athletes and reality TV stars.
These are brilliant. I mean, I'm telling you here, it's funny to you, right? But all we got to do is one tweak and then it's a brand new idea. Anyway, sorry guys.
So don't know what I was saying for the past 8 minutes, but here we are. And happy to be with the family. Today we're going to do some call homes.
Yes.
And I am extremely excited because it's been a hot minute since we heard from the family, chatted with the family, and I'm looking forward to that. Also, we talked about in our last episode, if you didn't watch or listen to the recap of BIP episode 8, and if you haven't, please do so now.
Please do it.
But we also mentioned that we're going to talk about a little bit about what Ember's had going on because I've been getting a bunch of messages from people being like, can you talk and share a little bit about some of the stuff? And we can now a few of the things we can talk about. Also going to talk about what's going on with my eyes.
I know.
But can we... I want to stay in a happy flow. Can we first discuss Ember and then take a few call homes so I can hear from my sweet, sweet family, and then
I think
we can talk about my
you know
eyes.
What I mean? Start off light.
That sounds good to me.
Yes, I agree.
Speaking of starting out in a good way, though, we do have to take a quick pause because family, this show is sponsored by Liquid IV. All right. So like we mentioned beforehand, Ember, she's actually going to be starting filming something tomorrow, which is extremely exciting. But we just found out that there's going to be a heat wave in Los Angeles starting tomorrow. So obviously, staying hydrated is everything. Just like Ember, staying hydrated is everything, which honestly will not be an issue because I've got Liquid IV, baby. It's become my absolute hydration lifesaver. One stick mixed into 16 ounces of water gives you 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drinks, plus 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. And let me tell you, the new Orange Vanilla Dream Hydration Multiplier, we are obsessed. My gosh, is it good?
So good.
It is absolutely delicious. It has this like amazing nostalgic vanilla flavor with notes of candied orange that tastes like a dream, and it helps keep you hydrated better than water alone. It's super refreshing, and I have been happily downing it after walks, errands, and even just like sitting outside with Ember. I've just been downing Liquid IV left, right, and center. And if you want to get hydrated deliciously with us, visit liquidiv.com and use code MOMDAD at checkout for 20% off your first order. Honestly, it's like my peak summer companion. I don't go anywhere without my Liquid IV these days.
Yes, Liquid IV really is the best. Powered by their HydroScience formula, it's an optimized blend of electrolytes, vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that help your body absorb water faster and more efficiently than water alone. The convenience is huge too. Just tear open a stick, pour it into your water, give it a quick stir, and boom, hydration upgrade. I keep them literally everywhere. Gym bag, car, work bag, hockey bag. I've even become the guy that is expected to have the Liquid IV, so it's become like my position on the
Liquid
team.
IV hockey
I'm the
guy.
yeah, what position do you play? Like Liquid IV? It's non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, so I feel good about using it daily, and honestly, I feel the difference. Total game changer.
Oh yeah, big time. And the flavors, let's talk about that because they are so good. From lemon lime to white peach to the new orange vanilla dream. There's seriously something for everyone. And again, my gosh, that new orange vanilla dream flavor it might be my favorite now.
It's so
I have
good.
so many favorites.
I'm a vanilla dream. I'm an orange vanilla dream fan in general. So the
know.
fact that they brought that, huge.
I know when I saw that for you, I was very excited for you. It was so good. I literally keep extras in my purse and I hand them out to friends because once they try it, they are hooked too. It's hydration that's not only functional, but actually delicious, which makes such a difference. So no matter what your end of summer looks like, pool days, travel, running around with the kiddos, Liquid IV has you covered. Savor the last bits of summer with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code MOMDAD at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code MOMDAD at liquidiv.com. Okay, so let's talk more about my kid. Like that parent, and let's talk more about my
Do you want
child.
to see some pictures?
But a lot of people were asking, which is
Yeah.
so sweet. I love the family. The family is so lovely and always so
Checking
supportive
in.
of our kiddo, which means so much. So if you didn't know, from day one, Ember has been... She came out a performer.
Yes.
Ember has been, singing opera at me since she was 1 year old. Like,
Yes.
that's just always been her vibe. It's been her passion. She lives for it. It reminds me, I saw a video clip the other day of Trevor Noah talking about it, and it made me really emotional because it reminded me of Ember, where he was like saying, I'd have struggles with like stuff at school or with friends or whatever. But when I got on stage or on set, it was like everything made sense and it just was peace, but like you come alive at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just been so cool because Ember started musical theater a couple years ago. And it was like the first time Evan and I saw her on stage, I was like, I've never seen my kid happier ever. And going to the rehearsals, it was like, it's so funny. It's like during tech week when of course everyone is just, slowly drudging out. Just like, I'm exhausted. We're so burnt out. Ember literally is cartwheel, cartwheel, cartwheel. Like it energizes her.
Oh yeah.
It's life. It's her literal life source. She
100%.
loves singing, dancing, acting more than anything on the planet. And so it's something that she asked if she could, try pursuing. And so now she's booked some things and we haven't been able to share because until they're like out,
Right.
you don't really want to chat about them. But one thing, if you have kiddos at home, I think that they'd really enjoy this. She has a mini series that she did with Disney that you can find on YouTube called Create Your World. And I think when this comes out, a brand new episode just dropped today. But there's a couple episodes out. I think your kids would really like it. They're in nature. They're with animals. They're, going through like composting. It's all sorts of stuff.
Super cute.
It's really cute. It's so fun. She had such an amazing time doing it. The girls that she got to do it with were the amazing kids.
Yeah.
And so if you have younger children, I think they'd probably really like that a lot. So you can check that out.
I think you'd enjoy it too.
I think you'd also enjoy it. It was wonderful. And she had the best time. I mean, she was like with animals out in nature with these new best friends of hers. I mean, it was
really like the first thing she had done too. So it was like really an awesome way to kind of learn how this all worked and whatever. And she just had a blast, and
everyone was amazing.
Everyone
the crew was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a
Super
dream.
cool.
It was a dream. It was so much fun. She was like this. She's like, it was the best week of my life because we filmed it over a week, and then since then she's done some short films. She's now, when we're talking right now, she's filming a film where she has a bigger part in it. So when we can talk about that, we'll let you all know about all those things. But the other big one that people were asking about was when we last minute during one of the episodes were like, hey guys, we're dropping an episode and we're going to have to do it on a certain day because we're heading to New York because Ember just, got a call back for something big and we're heading to New York. And so now we can talk about, I don't think I can say yet what it was specifically for, but basically Ember got to the final callbacks for a national musical tour.
Yes.
And she didn't end up getting it. It
Out
was
of like thousands of kids too, which was crazy.
Family, it was the coolest experience. Like, obviously she was bummed out because she really wanted it. And my God, does that kid love theater.
Yeah.
So it was like a national musical tour.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when she found out that she got the call back, when I tell you, bawling for joy. And so obviously there's the disappointment when she doesn't get it, but she was so proud of herself. We were so proud of her. The experience to go to New York.
Yeah.
And go to like these really famous studios and have her do the final callbacks. And there's just a couple kids left. And these kids were incredible.
Unreal.
Like the talent, these children were just, and the passion and the joy for theater. And like everyone was so kind too. It was just electric. I love just the theater biz. The theater is just everything. And these kids were just so passionate about musical theater, and they brought her in, and I mean, it was just an unbelievable experience. So she didn't end up getting that, but just going there and having her go for a few days and do these callbacks, she was like, best 72 hours of my life.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And now she's like, I'm ready to go back, baby. She's ready to like hit the ground running, and like she's fingers crossed for another New York callback for a musical. That's like,
But that's also another thing too, is like the way she even handled not getting it was like so awesome. Like taught me a lot, because certain things in work and you're like, oh, I wish that would happen. It's like hard not to get bogged down. She just goes, it's really hard. You want to get a hamburger?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's just, what do they say? Water off a duck's back. It really is true. Like she just is like, doesn't bog down, doesn't get, and I feel like that's really an amazing skill for someone who does something creative, right? Because it's like, sometimes things go your way, some things don't. You have to just be flexible. And so I was just really proud of her dealing with that too, which like I said, so much highs, so much, you know what I mean? To then kind of, it's like and it allows her when she does get things that she didn't even expect to get, to not get too wrapped up in it too. It's like she just does an incredible job of keeping her head level and excited the whole time. I think a big part of it is like she loves it so much that like any form that she can do it is she's stoked. Like whether it's an audition, whether it's a callback, whether it's something local, something big, something small, like it's just any way that she can get her hands on it. She wants to do it. It's all she wants to do. It's like she comes home from school and she's just like, do I have any auditions? And she's like, I mean, she's just, she loves it. She loves it. And, I want to say this.
before we move on to a call home.
Yeah.
I have made so many parenting mistakes and I continue to make parenting mistakes every single day, and I will continue to make parenting mistakes. So, you can take this or leave this parenting advice, but I don't tend to like to give parenting advice just because I feel like every child is a different human being.
Sure.
So I'm like, I don't know what advice I can necessarily give because your child is going to be different than my child. And
Right.
they're going to have their own experiences and their own backgrounds and relationships. And so, I don't know, I tend to just not be like giving out parenting advice because every kid's different. But the one thing that like with Ember that I feel like I've really seen a lot of is that it's so cool to see that at her age, she has a passion and she loves something so much. And when I think about myself, when I was young, I never really had, like, I liked certain things, but I never had like, I felt so passionate about it that it like brought me life. And it's still something to this day I struggle with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I can feel low because of that.
Sure.
Like, it can hit me in ways where I'm like, what's my thing?
Right.
Like right now I would say, for the past year, like reading's been my thing and that's brought me so much joy. But sometimes I want to get my hands into something a little, like, I want to do it more. And so because it's something that I struggle with when I see how it's like, oh, she found something that she's so passionate about, I would say like parenting wise, or like if you're a caretaker at a super young age, anything that your child shows interest in, dig in.
Right. Feed it.
I think a lot of times there's the temptation of like, oh, here's the things that my kids should know and be good at. So we focus kind of on those instead of really just fostering what they love and care about. And of course, there's things you have to learn and do that sometimes the kids aren't going to like. And you got to do all that. But like to focus on passion. So it's like, even if your kid, I'm talking little, and it's like their passion, they're bugs.
Right.
It's like
Bug out.
Like go to all the parks,
Bugtopia.
check out all the different bugs, look up the YouTube videos and research about the bugs and learn about the bugs and go to see if there's different like enclosures that see different bugs.
Yeah.
If your kid's like really little and is like, oh, I like playing with little toy cars and that's their big passion, cars. Get super into, go like taking walks and checking out and researching the cars. Like, even though it sounds maybe a little silly where you're like, oh, it's something that's so small, that could end up, your kid who loves bugs, that passion could manifest into being really passionate about the enviirment.
Right.
And really getting into biology and like helping our climate someday.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So
you
it's
never
like,
know.
And even if it's a fair weather passion, like your kid loves bugs hard for 2 months and then moves on to something else, I think really fostering and getting excited and digging into a passion then teaches a curiosity that might last for forever for that child.
Yeah.
Because when I look at myself, I go, I lack that. And I have to kind of always be like, come on, wake up, Jessica. Look at what's around you. There's so much, you have so much privilege and access to so many amazing things that, you're not tapping into and taking advantage of. And I'm like, I got to get that passion. And I don't know. That's a wild rant, but
no, I agree. I mean, I think that as parents, it's like we can't, you can't like create their personalities for them. You can't force them to like shit they don't like. You know what I mean? You know the classic like, I was a football player, so you should be a football player kind of thing. That we can easily get sucked into too, because it's like we have a dream of what our kid's gonna like. A lot of times they're not into the same stuff you're into. Sometimes you're lucky. Sometimes it is like, oh, they happen to love your favorite thing. But a lot of times that's not the case. So I think it's also that too, is like relinquishing that as a parent to be like, hey, my kid likes bugs. I find them disgusting. But you know what? I am going to figure out a way that I can help them. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's that too. A lot of times what happens is like, I even just think about my childhood. I'm sure you get to yours. It's like, where it's like parents are like, I don't really get it. So whatever. Versus like going, hey, you know what? I don't get it, but I'm going to help you find what you like about this. You know what I mean?
You've done an amazing job, and I want to affirm you with that because I ended up lucking out because Ember.
You lucked out. You love musical theater and all that stuff. And for me, it was like foreign. I had seen a couple things before, but it definitely was not my thing at all.
I love musical theater so much. And so I was like, this is awesome. It was
automatic. Right.
And, I will say at first when Ember was little, she loved musicals. And she also, I brought up bugs, love bugs. I had to learn how to be like, don't act scared around the bugs.
I'm a lot more down with the bugs.
But,
you know what I mean?
But she loves it. And so that was easy for me. But for you didn't grow up with musical theater. No. It wasn't something that's a passion of yours, but you've done such an amazing job of immersing yourself into musical theater where you are always listening to it now, even if you don't feel like it.
We're acting like I had a choice. No, I'm just kidding. It's one of those things where I was intentional. I knew it was like, hey, this isn't my thing and I don't really know anything about it. And to be honest with you, it's not even necessarily something that originally interested me. It's like, all right, she likes this, so let's do it. But it's like, there's this thing of like, either you're going to fight it or I'm going to ignore it or I'm going to dive into it. And it's like, when you dive into it, you'll almost find something amazing in anything. You know what I mean? And especially through the eyes of your child who is like bringing it to life in such a new way. So now it's like, I love it. I love going to shows. The idea of following her around and watching her create all these beautiful things is like what dreams are made of at this point. So, but if you were to ask me 5-6 years ago, your daughter likes musical theater, what do you think about that? I'd be like, all right, you know what I mean? But it was like, opening yourself up to these things is really what can change you. So speaking from that side of things, like, I'm just grateful that we as a family dove into that because like now we have this, she has this amazing passion and a talent and it's, who knows what this will turn out for her in life, but now it's amazing.
That's the thing. I'm like, if tomorrow she's like not into it anymore, or if tomorrow she's like, I'm going to be done, then we'll be done. Or if one day, whether or not this is something that she wants to pursue in her future or for a career, like regardless of it, at this time in this moment, it's like fueling joy and fueling passion.
She's learning a bunch of skills.
And it's also just fueling like that energy and excitement for life. And I don't know, it's inspiring to me, and having watched her now do it, like I feel inspired, and she's been pushing me where she's like, you love musical theater so much, why don't you take classes?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, no, Ember, no. I'm like, I am much too old for this. I'm like, it's going to be embarrassing because I'm going to walk in and there's going to be pros. We're in LA and I'm not going to know, and it's going to be bad. I don't know what I'm doing. But she's like, please. And she's been asking me to take musical theater classes because she's like, my dream is that one day you and I could be in a show together. And I don't know how to break it to her that I'm like, girl, you are way out of my league. Like, you're way better than me. I'm not going to end up in a show with you. But she's pushed me to do it where I think I'm signing up, if I can, for a couple of these like musical theater classes to just show her like, hey, you know what?
You're right.
I'm telling you to pursue your dreams and I better show up and pursue some shit that I love too and I'm passionate about and not be scared.
I agree.
I
agree. Wow. Ember the Wise.
I'm on fire. But anywho, that was a long rant about our daughter, but I hope that maybe that like parenting tip, like life tip, was somewhat helpful. It's been helpful for me because it's something that I've been processing a lot lately, and I've been trying to motivate myself
that's good.
To like catch fire a little bit. I feel like that's been the thing over the past couple of years. It's like, get passionate about something. There's so much to be passionate about, and
Yeah. And sometimes your kiddos need a little push. Maybe your kiddos kind of expressed a little interest in something that, again, you find zero interest in, and they're not really super expressive kiddos. So they need, they feel like a little shy about liking a certain thing. So like dig in with them, and they might show you that there's a lot more passion there that maybe you wouldn't have seen if it wasn't for you getting in there and kind of getting your hands, quote, dirty with the bugs or whatever. Where all of a sudden you can be like, oh my gosh, they're super into this, but they were just a little shy about getting into it. There's a lot of that.
I think that's such a wise tip because I think that's how I was wired as a kid.
Yeah.
I think I had those passions.
Didn't want to bother, because some kids are really like, I don't want to bother anyone. They're really sensitive and sweet, and
I think I felt that way when I was a little kid too, and even maybe I didn't even know how much I liked it. It was a little bit of an interest, but if someone would have been like, let's dive into that, I would have been like, why not? And it could have opened up something really exciting.
100%.
Anyway.
100%.
Anyway. Okay. Let's get into some call homes.
Let's do it.
Let's get into some call homes, but first we're going to take one more quick pause. Okay, listen. Obviously, we were talking about some personal stuff today. We'll get even more into that later in the episode. But here's another thing about me. I am a teeth grinder. I grind, clench my jaw, grinding my teeth. I've always been a grinder. For years and years, I've been a grinder, okay, which has caused discomfort and some serious tooth issues, unfortunately. So a dentist a while ago once told me that I needed a night guard, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Until they told me the price. I nearly ground my teeth into a fine powder while I was sitting there, okay? It was so expensive. I ended up walking away without one, but I was spiraling because I was like, well, wait, I need one. What am I supposed to do? But then I found Remy, and oh my gosh, am I so grateful. It has been a total game changer. If you're one of the 30% of Americans who grind their teeth, you need protection, and there's no better solution than Remy's custom fit night guard. It is top quality protection, and hear me, it is 80% less than the dentist and way easier. Yes, I said 80% less than the dentist.
Yes, Jess is right. I got one too, and the process could not be simpler.
So
they
easy.
send the impression kit straight to your door with clear step-by-step instructions so you can do it at home. And they even give you extra material in case you need a second try, which is a massive relief, because you don't want to be like, all like, I got one shot.
Yeah.
They hook you up. You take your impression, send it back, and Remy ships you your custom fit night guard made right here in the U.S. in Las Vegas. The fit is spot on. It's lightweight, and it's way more comfortable than I expected. Plus, Remy is so confident you'll love it. They'll give you a 45-night perfect fit guarantee or your money back. Honestly, it's such an incredible investment in protecting your teeth, an investment that is, again, 80% less than the dentist.
Yeah, it's so incredible. And now that I've been wearing mine, I can feel the difference, like genuinely feel the difference. It's absolutely amazing. And I was worried that it would feel bulky, but Remy's guards are so thin and light. I forget I even have it in, which is saying a lot because I usually hate anything in my mouth at nighttime, but I genuinely forget that I have my Remy night guard in. What I also love is how easy it is to replace them. If you lose one, if my Arthur dog eats it, or if I just want a fresh one, it's not a financial crisis because Remy, again, it's still 80% less than the dentist. That peace of mind has been huge. It's one of those things where once you have it, you cannot believe you lived without it. No waiting rooms, no overpriced bills, just a better way to protect your teeth while you sleep. Try Remy risk-free at shopremy.com/momdad and use code MOMDAD to get up to 50% off your night guard at checkout. That's 50% off at shopremi.com/momdad with code MOMDAD. Again, that's shopremi.com/momdad with code MOMDAD. Thank you, Remy, for sponsoring this episode. Okay, can we hear some words from the family, please? Speak to me, family.
Remember, you can always call home.
Hey, your mom and dad. So awesome to talk to you. I have a question about a guy I've been seeing. So, we could just refer to me as E. I am
E.
30 years old, and I just started seeing this guy who's 39 years old, and we met through Hinge. We've only been seeing each other for about a month, but we've seen each other every week, so 4 times, and 3 of those dates have been very long, like all day sleepover dates.
Okay.
My question is, when we're together, we get along so amazing. We have great chemistry. He seems very into me. But then during the week, I just don't really hear from him that much. He's not a great texter. He will text me if it's been about a day since we've talked to each other. He will reach out. But anytime I've kind of tried to initiate like a text conversation during the week, it just doesn't really stick. And at one point I thought that we were kind of fizzling out because we just really had not spoken much that week until he asked me out again. He also only asked me out for Saturdays. And the last 2 times has waited until the day of, like on Saturday, to hit me up. So I'm just wondering, is this like a tall tale sign that he's just not that into me? And he's just trying to make me a Saturday hang? Or I will give some context. He does have a very stressful, high pressure sales job where he's literally in charge of millions of dollars. And I know he's had some work drama going on that he's been telling me about, and he works very long, stressful days. So part of me just wants to give him the benefit of the doubt that he has a really crazy job. But I have always been a firm believer that it does not take that long to send a text message. And if a guy's really into you, he's going to be texting you. But am I maybe overthinking this, jumping the gun? I mean, has asked me out every week since we've met. We do have great chemistry when we're in person. I don't know. It just feels weird to kind of not talk to somebody all week and then just see him one day on the weekend. Am I tripping?
Okay, E, thank you so much. Evan, please speak into this because I also have questions because let me tell you something. I've had a handful of girlfriends of mine who have had similar situations happen.
Yeah.
And when they ask me my thoughts and opinions, like I have my knee-jerk reactions, but I don't know if I'm right. So I don't want to generalize, but as a man, can you speak into your initial reaction about this? Because like, why do guys do this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple different things. First of all, super high stressful job. Sure. There's a good chance that like, you know, as much as he likes you, like you're not the relief he necessarily needs when he gets off of work at like late at night. He's tired. He needs to chill, whether he like watches TV or video games or has a drink with the boys, whatever it is. Like you need to de-stress and kind of set your brain back. And, you know, even if he likes you a lot, there's this level of like, I have to be super intentional and intense and we're focusing and you know what I mean? And I need to be brain off, you know? So there's that. If he is super stressed at work and it's very intense and he's kind of under a lot of pressure, there is this level of like probably after work he wants to just chill super hard. So there's that. That's probably just totally true as it stands. Okay. Secondarily, you did say every Saturday you've hung out, it's been sleepover. Okay. So I'm getting vibes of intimacy going on.
Potentially.
I'm
no.
going to assume yes. Because you made mention of hang out for long hours and sleepover. Okay.
I mean, there are plenty of times where you can just sleep over without
100%. But I'm going to, because we don't have less information, I'm going to jump to a conclusion. So what I kind of, and the fact he's not hitting you up at all during the week, what I'm kind of getting is that he likes you. He thinks you're super cool. You're probably super chill. You guys have great conversation. Maybe great sex. It's a vibe. But I will say, if he's super stressed at work, he's slammed, hits you up day of, I'm not getting relationship guy. I'm getting like for what he has time for what he has availability for in his mental state, you're perfect for that. As in, you're the max he maybe has, which is like this amazing person that he gets to connect with every weekend. But I'm also not getting like, I don't want to lose you energy, which screams my priority is my work. So that's the vibe. I don't think it doesn't sound like a bad guy or anything. The fact that you guys have long, you know, it'd be one thing if it was like hitting you up at 1 a.m. and it's like, okay, we know what this is.
Up texts. Yeah.
But the fact that you guys are hanging out for long hours, it means he likes you. He's probably spending the very little time he has with you. But he's also probably just, you know, pretty consumed with everything else in his life. So I'm not getting, I have lots of time. I'm ready for a relationship. I'm ready to kind of be texting all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On top of that, I would say I would not be available if I were you and see what happens. So this next Saturday when he hits you up, I'd be like, actually, I'm not available.
Yeah.
And kind of see what happens. And if it's kind of like your availability is the reason why this thing survives, then you know.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because if you're not available and he's more like, well, what's going on tomorrow? Well, and then I'm sorry, I'm busy that day too. And then he's hitting you up during the week now, at least you can gauge his interest a little bit more. But if every time he texts you, you're available, then there is this like, it's hard to know where he stands.
Right. I think that's a great call, is to just, to pull back.
Wait till he texts and be like, oh, I wish I could.
yeah, if you pull back and see if he continues to be like, well, wait a second, what about another day? Or what if this, can we make this work instead? Okay, because my knee-jerk reaction when I hear it is I think E, that you said that he's 39.
Right.
So I'm like, he's not young. He's almost 40.
And
right?
roughly a decade in between you guys.
Right. So I'm like, okay, he's a 40-year-old man, almost 40-year-old man.
Would love to know his past.
Would love to know the past, but he's almost 40-year-old man, but deep in work and not texting. I'm like, I don't know, it just hits me as a guy who's like you said, the work is the priority and he really enjoys his time with you and you're a great hang, but he's that like kind of that typical like later 30s, early 40s guy who's like, I'm not ready to commit yet. Or it's like work's
is he
the
divorced?
priority.
Does he have a kid? I don't know what his life is. I don't know what his current situation is. How, you know what I mean? Like it could be a million different things. He could be divorced 6 months and it's like, I'm not ready for that. It could be eternal bachelor. I don't know. These are all large elements we don't know.
I guess I would just say this. I think if it was a younger man, if you're like, hey, this guy is 23 and he's talking about his work.
Very different.
I'd be more prone to be like, maybe he's a fuckboy and he's going and hooking up with a bunch of different people. This guy being almost 40 and hitting you up the same day, having a stressful job, part of me thinks he's just like not ready to... even though he's, in his 40s, he's like not ready to commit yet.
Yeah.
And so he's focused on his work. And I don't maybe get the vibe that he's like, some player who's playing you. Like I get the vibe that he does genuinely like you, but he's also like not wanting to settle down at the moment. So you're a great hang and he really enjoys his time with you, but he's not going to be like hitting you up throughout the week.
Yeah, because if he hit you up earlier in the week, it means he's okay. In my opinion, it means he's okay with you not being available. More so. If he hits you up day of, right, then it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
So if he was hitting you up on Tuesday for Saturday, then it's like he wants to lock you in. So it is giving casual.
Can I ask you a general question?
Mm-hmm.
So when I've had these conversations with some of my girlfriends who are like seeing a guy, and again, like this, like E, where you're like in person, we vibe hard and the flirting is intense and there's a great energy and he does ask me on dates, but he does not text me throughout the week. He doesn't engage with me or call me or FaceTime me. It's very much just like when we're in the moment, we're good. Would you say in general that that's a sign that a guy enjoys spending time but doesn't want to like have anything further in the relationship? Or is that just kind of like, again, not to generalize, but kind of just a guy thing because maybe some guys just don't like to chit chat via text so much?
I would lean on the first thing.
Okay.
I would lean on just kind of, if people show interest in certain things, they're going to show interest in certain things. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your guys' relationship. There's anything wrong with you. It's just could be where he's at in life.
Yeah.
It could be many different things. But I would say don't take it too seriously. Back off on it emotionally. Don't get too excited about it. That's what I would say. Because what can happen to people is they get kind of like lulled into these kind of casual relationships, and then one person develops a lot more feelings than the other, and the person who was more casual in the relationship thought we were both on the same page with the casual thing, and next thing you know, they're like, why are you being an asshole? You didn't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so I would back off. The writing's a little bit on the wall, in my opinion, and he'll let you know if it's not. So when you cancel on him, when you bail, you'll know quickly kind of, I think, how he feels. But if it's like, oh, no worries, try again another time soon.
Right.
Then okay, cool. Let's not waste too much emotion on this. Maybe it's a casual thing. Maybe it's a fun friends with benefits thing. Maybe it's just a new buddy in town. I don't know. But I wouldn't to me, it's giving a little, like hitting up day of when you have the whole week to plan. I wouldn't put too much emotion in this thing.
I've said to my friends before, I'm like, if you've already initiated some texting and he's not, really initiating it at all himself and isn't like flowing with the back and forth. I always encourage him like, hey, I would then just don't waste your breath in the sense of like feeling like then you need to just keep initiating, like put it in the other person's court. And if you're having a good time out and about and you're enjoying your dates with them and you feel like you can keep going on dates without feeling too invested emotionally,
Right.
then I'm like, just leave it as it is and see if anything develops. But I wouldn't put any extra effort to try to engage and like see what the other person does.
Don't quote like force it.
Yeah, and just see what the other person. If you're able to like keep doing that and not feel too invested emotionally, just kick back and relax and see what they do. And if you're having a good time on the dates, and keep doing it. But like, just see if they start initiating and yeah.
Exactly.
Go from there, I guess.
Because you don't want to get caught up in the like, why isn't he texting me? What's going on? I thought we had a thing. You know what I mean?
Or waste any of your breath.
That's what I mean.
You know what I
Don't
mean?
waste
Like your
that
precious
energy.
time. Yeah.
So
You're too special.
yeah, I wouldn't look at it like he's not that into me. I'd more look at it like there's a million reasons why he might not be into
A relationship.
many versions of it. Relationship, his own issue. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah.
You might be the perfect person for him, wrong time. There's a million different things, but like the lack of energy from him either means a bunch of things. Either means you're giving all the energy so then he can kind of just relax and be lazy about it. Either means he's not ready for it. Either means that maybe you guys are on different pages regarding your connection. There's a million different things, but the energy generally will kind of flow and make it pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, best of luck, E.
Yeah. Protect your emotions a little bit on this one, I think.
Protect your emotions, protect your heart, but do what's going to make you feel good. If that means that you want to keep trying dates and then keep dating other people, then do that. If you're like, I'm over this guy, then move on.
Or if you can enjoy this hang without getting too wrapped up in it, that's another good way, whatever.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
Longtime listener here. I just wanted to say thank you for your podcast. You've kept me company on many commutes home. Your comforting voices have helped me go to sleep after many anxiety spirals. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. I have a friendship question for you. So I have this childhood friend. Let's call her Abby. And we also have a mutual friend from childhood. Let's call her Veronica. So Abby would consider Veronica and I her two best friends since middle school. And in the last few years since having children, Veronica and I have gotten really close, the two of us. And initially, when we joked to Abby about, the two of us are going to hang out without you, she very seriously made it known she did not feel okay with that. And she would not be okay with us hanging out without her. So we did it anyway. And we just
You guys are
didn't
so
tell her.
bad.
So for the last, I'd say 6 or 7 years, we've kept our friendship a secret from Abby.
That's crazy.
And I mean, we've been hanging out a lot, and my husband's now friends with Veronica's husband. We go over and hang out at their house. Our kids play together regularly, and Abby has no idea. We don't post these hangouts on social media for fear of Abby finding out.
Oh my God.
And ultimately, our husbands aren't really the biggest fans of Abby, so they're really encouraging us to cut ties since we've been distant the past few years, and she's sort of a selfish friend anyway. I could talk a lot about that, but I'll save you the time. But it's really hard to cut off a friendship that's been going on like 25 years. So my question for you, Mom and Dad, is, do we reveal our friendship to Abby directly? Do we keep it a secret because, like
hilarious.
what she doesn't know won't hurt her? Or do we just start living our lives like posting our hangouts on social media together? And if she finds out, she finds out. And if she's hurt, that's her problem. I just feel like we're too far gone at this point after like 7 years, and I just don't know what to do. So any advice you have would be really helpful. Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you. Okay, first of all, I don't want to sound like I'm being a bitch here, but Abby sounds like a nightmare. Okay, so Abby just sounds, the fact that you're like, she's a really selfish friend. There's a lot of drama. Our husbands are like, we don't like her, keep hanging out with each other. And she's like, do not hang out without me. Like, Abby just sounds like somebody who is kind of a nightmare, and I know deep in your heart you love her, and that's the thing. We all have people that we know since we're young and we grow up with who aren't necessarily great friends.
Right.
Or it can be the same with family members, like certain family members where you're like, yeah, they're a nightmare, but they just happen to be my family member, and you love them and you care about them and you don't want to hurt them, but that doesn't mean that they're any less of a nightmare.
I'm a little confused. So is it like for the last 7 years, you, Abby, Say Veronica.
Veronica.
You, Abby, and Veronica hang out individually, but not separate from Abby. You know what I'm saying? I'm going like, wait, so for the last 7 years,
Yes.
while you guys have had a secret relationship, you've also been having a 3-person relationship together. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Abby's like meeting up with you guys for coffee and kicking it and doing all this stuff with you guys regularly for 7 years while you guys have a secret relationship.
Okay, first
Or
of
is
all,
Abby like just not really even around anymore? Like, what is like, how could you guys possibly hide it for this long?
this is a full-blown friendship affair, affair. And, part of me is wondering if, when it comes out in the open and Abby knows, if the chemistry will fizzle between you and Veronica. It's like a real affair.
Sure.
You're like, we don't know if we're that attracted to each other anymore. But I don't know. I don't know about this whole 7 year.
Well, they're saying, the husbands are saying break it off. So that means that there is something there, right? They're still hanging out with her somehow.
Here's the deal. I want to validate to you right now that I totally understand the feeling of being like, I don't want to tell this person. They're going to make it a whole thing. It's going to be wild. And I really enjoy my time with Veronica, and our families get along and our husbands get along, and it's amazing. But in my humble opinion, you need to put this out in the open, because Abby will find out about it. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. And if Abby finds out about it from someone else, it will be explosive. And I'm not saying that you need to sit Abby down and be like, hey, just FYI, Abby, we've been having a secret friendship affair for the past 7 years. I'm just saying, just start not hiding your friendship.
Yeah.
Just start publicly being friends with Veronica.
Right.
Because I understand like the feeling of being an Abby in a friendship where you're feeling like a little on the outs. Like, you mentioned
especially because they have kids and she doesn't. So there's this level of like, oh, you guys have this bond or this shared interest or something. It's like if you guys started playing a sport together and I don't play, and then I'm watching you guys become besties and I'm losing that. I mean, I understand the feeling.
That's what it makes it sound like, that like maybe Abby doesn't have like maybe like kids like you and Veronica have. And that then hurts my heart, the idea of a friend feeling like I've been left in the dust.
Left behind, yeah.
And that's not a good feeling. The only reason that I'm talking about Abby being a nightmare is because you all are saying that essentially she's
her
a
saying
nightmare.
You can't hang out without me is nuts.
And then also saying that she's a selfish friend and like the husbands can't stand her. I'm assuming that there's nightmarish
If you're someone
tendencies.
that says you can't hang out without me, that is not the only thing about you that is a little rough around the edges. Let's be real. That's not like the one thing you do. It's like that's a lifestyle.
If Abby were to say to you, hey, you know what, I'll be real with you. It hurts my feelings when I find out that you all are hanging and you don't invite me, because it makes me feel like I'm like getting pushed out of the friendship.
Would you mind inviting me? I still want to hang out with you guys even though I don't have kids, if that's okay. I mean, that's
such a
genuine.
valid feeling. Yeah. It's such a valid feeling. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to friendships, kids or not, you're going to have times where you hang out with one person and not the other, and it's just part of a friendship dynamic.
Especially when you have something like children.
Yeah, but I'm saying even regardless of that, that's going to be an issue. So, you know what? To me, if I were in your shoes, I would just start being public about your and Veronica's friendship, not necessarily sit down with Abby and reveal it, but just put it out there and see how Abby reacts. And maybe if you're feeling it, if it's not pushing your comfortability boundaries too much, after revealing the friendship to the general populace, you can like check in on Abby and be like, hey, yeah, Veronica and I, and you can even initiate it. So then it doesn't become too tense where you're like, yeah, Veronica and I have been hanging out and we really get along. And I hope it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, but we've been having a great time. And if she decides to fly off the handle, then that's on her. But at the same time too, also time to examine, like, if you think that this friend is selfish and you don't want her in your life anymore. I know having a long time friendship is a thing, but sometimes it's okay to start to set up boundaries and be like, this was a friendship at a certain time and I'm not going to be unkind to this person, but it's time.
I disagree a little bit.
Okay.
Here's my take. I think
hide forever.
No, I think, and not to call you out.
Call me out?
No, them.
Oh.
I think y'all fucked this one up. Like personally.
Yeah, I do agree a little bit with that too.
I kind of put a lot on you on this, because it's like, yeah, your friends unhinged and your friend is acting in a way that's like super not cool. But like 7 years ago, all you had to say was, hey, we love you, but like we're friends now and we're all friends now and we have this shared bond with the kiddos and there's a good chance we're going to hang out and like our kids play together and that's, we love you so much. It doesn't change our love for you. But like, you know, I understand that that's not ideally, but we're going to do what we need to do and just how I hope you would too. And if you hung out with Veronica without me, I'm totally cool with that. And you can hang out, Abby, without Veronica. Like, this is life. You know what I mean? So I don't like the idea that we're putting confines on our 7 years ago. You could have done that. Now what you've created is this like illustrious affair where you have like an entire separate family. You know what I mean? And you're trying to hide it. So it's a nightmare. And I hate to put this on you, but 7 years ago, it was a tiny little thing. Now it's a whole thing. So in my opinion, I don't think you reveal a 7-year affair, but I think you do in a hangout with Abby go, by the way, you know, I just wanted to be honest with you. I know you weren't super comfortable with this, but me and Veronica are friends and we do hang out from time to time. And I know you're a little uncomfortable with that. And I just want to say, I'm sorry that you're uncomfortable with that, but we are friends and we're not going to stop hanging out and we want to still be friends with you. But if you're not okay with that, we totally understand. Like I will say, like, finding out online, that'll quadruple whatever the feeling of quote betrayal she feels.
I'm not talking about posting like we've been best friends.
No, I know. But if all of a sudden you all of a sudden have no, and then all of a sudden you just see it hanging, then you feel like you're willing to post this before talking to me as a friend. It would make me feel not very valued in that way. So for me, I think you have a hangout, you tell her, you don't say for 7 years, by the way, we've been lying to you. I think it's just more like, hey, by the way, we're friends. We do hang out sometimes. And we felt like you would take it weird, and we should have just let you know, or to be honest with you, we should have told you a long time ago when you had an issue that's not going to stop us.
What if Abby said, "How long has this been going on for?"
I'd be like, yeah, exactly.
No, I'm serious.
Like, if she says, "How long has this been going on for?" Be like, none your business. You know what I mean? Be like, none yet. And then she goes, "What's none yet?" And you go, "Your business." You know what I'm saying? So we just go, we've been hanging out for quite a while. And we're not going to get into the details of like how long, and how many times. I think that's not really the point. The point is you weren't comfortable with it. We should have told you then, like, hey, it's not, we're not going to control our relationships around your opinions, just how I hope you wouldn't either.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, just be straight up, be honest about it, be simple about it, keep it simple. And if she freaks, then it's like perfect, writing's on the wall. You don't have to do any, you know what I mean? Maybe it'll be a growth moment for her. You know what I mean? Maybe she's got to be honest with you, maybe you guys have been tiptoeing around her for so long. She's living in a crystal palace of immaturity where she doesn't have anyone calling her out. Maybe she needs to this is the beginning of it. You never know. But I would just say, you'll do a lot. I think you got to hold a little responsibility for
for sure
where this is at now.
Yeah. I mean,
as much as I love you.
Yeah.
And I know, and I would feel so much of the temptation to do the same thing, to be like, that was nuts.
Of course.
Then you don't want to deal with it. But it's become a beast because y'all let it become a beast. You could have easily just nipped it in the bud.
I totally
7 years
understand
ago.
the feeling of being like, I don't like, I can be conflict avoidant myself. And I'm like, I know it's going to be a thing. I really don't want to. And it's going to hurt her feelings. It's going to be free. And she's going to freak out and whatever. But it would have been a lot easier many years ago.
Have the one awkward combo.
Yeah. So you got to know that it will be probably explosive. And you got to also know that like, you kind of brought it on yourself a little bit. So
just stand 10 toes down and be like, yo, this is, you don't have to get into any detail. Just be like, hey, this is what we're doing and we love you too.
This
you know
is
what I
my
mean?
Veronica.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
But best of luck to
Best
you
of
and
luck.
Veronica.
Oh, God, that feeling's awful.
It's a terrible feeling.
It's an awful feeling.
So before we dive into some more call homes, should we discuss my eyes?
Yes, let's discuss your eyes.
So family, we let you know in our last Bachelor in Paradise recap episode that next week we will not be having an episode. But the following week we'll be having a Love Island reunion recap and a episode 9 and 10 Bachelor in Paradise recap. So 2 episodes, not next week, but the following week. And part of the reason that's happening is because Ember is going to be on set.
Yep.
And Mama gets to be on set with her. I'm very excited. And it's packed, busy. But the timing of it also happens to fall on me next week needing to go to a bunch of different eye doctors to figure out what I need to do with my eyes and get different opinions on surgery and see what's best and, that whole thing. So basically what is going down is that I have extremely poor vision. Like I've had it for at least half of my life, like really, really bad vision. In the past few years, it's gotten very, very bad. I know you can't see, but I'm, contacts in 24/7, and I don't wear my glasses. If you see me wear glasses on the podcast, they're fake like blue light glasses because my actual glasses are like Coke bottle glasses. Yeah. And so I have very, very poor quality vision. But the last year, it's gotten excessively bad. So about a year ago, I went to an eye doctor and I was like, hey, no matter what prescription you're putting in my eyes, mama can't see. Like I have one eye where I feel like I have full double vision constantly, and the other eye, it's like fuzzy and grainy constantly. And no matter what you're putting, when it's like, is it better A, B, A? I'm like, I can't see anything.
It's like bad, worse. Exactly. And I know it could get worse. Somehow it's getting worse.
Yes. And I'm like in the double vision. And so what the eye doctor had been telling me is they were like, you have astigmatism in both of your eyes. So it's because of the shape of your eyeballs that, the contacts won't settle on it correctly. So the contact's always moving around. So that's what the double vision is. Well, then I get the glasses prescription. I'm like, I still have double vision.
Right.
And the eye doctor was like, it just kind of is what it is with astigmatism. Right. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, all right. And it just kept getting worse. And it got to a point somewhat recently that it's just been like severely affecting my life.
Yeah.
Where I can most of the time I can't like drive anymore because I all of a sudden will get like severe double vision in one eye and I can't see and it's not okay. And so I'm like, I'm not going to put myself in that situation. So that's been a whole thing. So Evan's been Ubering me around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
driving.
it's been a major adjustment to like, when it's bad enough where you can't drive.
Yeah.
And we have a child.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're just in full blown kind of survival mode when it comes to getting her around, you around, all this stuff, we're like trying to make it work. It's a lot.
And then, obviously then like the Uber costs and everything. It's just,
and also like to have your eyes be so bad you can't drive.
Yeah. So there's that too. So I'm like, I need to get this figured out. So like 2 weeks ago, I went into another eye doctor and I was like, can I please get a new, I got to get my eyes checked again. And they looked at me and they were like, I think you need to go to a specialist because I think you have something called keratoconus, which keratoconus is an eye disease, a progressive degenerative eye disease, essentially, where your corneas thin out. And then essentially the best way to describe it is like they get a hernia. So they start to, instead of being like that flat rounded shape, they become like cones. And when that happens, it's like the way that the light refracts in your eyes, you start to like severely lose vision quickly, and you get things like severe double vision. And so
and your contacts don't rest, right? Because your eye's bulging through your cornea, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So then you got to put a contact on it, and it's like it's like a magnifying glass at different angles, right? It's like completely distorted, double vision. Crazy, right? Like it's like fitting awkward and bent.
It's fitting awkward, and so then also then with glasses, the glasses don't help it really because it doesn't fully cover what needs to be covered. Right. So that doesn't really help either. So it's one of those things that you're like, oh shit. So I go into the specialist and they're like, surprise, surprise, you have keratoconus in both of your eyeballs. Yeah. I thought it was just one, and they're like, it's in both of them. And unfortunately, keratoconus is not something that can be reversed. It is something that hopefully with a couple different like procedures, I can get to stop progressing.
Right.
But I don't have a mild case of it.
No.
So it's if we were to stop it right now as it was, I'm like, I have double vision.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, stopping it now is going to save you from, it's like, we need massive improvement.
Yeah, we need to get it
So stopping it's the beginning. the issue.
Stopping it's the beginning of the issue.
It's like a tourniquet. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I got the tourniquet on my arm.
Yeah.
But my bone's popping through my arm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like we got to fix that also.
We got to fix that also. So apparently the potentially stopping it, sometimes it works on some people, sometimes it doesn't. But from what I heard, the potentially stopping it issue is not super, super complex in more recent days. But then it's the helping it. They're talking where you get hard contacts or like a contact like Jim Carrey got in The Grinch, like covers your whole eye.
Brutal.
But like I can't, glasses aren't going to help me. So it would have to always kind of be contacts. But that's if it wasn't as bad as it is. But mine's pretty bad.
Right.
So that's why I need to go to a bunch of different eye doctors and figure out what we need to do now, because I've been to a couple already and they've made some like surgery suggestions with like certain types of implants
People
and stuff.
disagreeing with each other.
People
like one guy's saying
disagreeing.
doing this, one guy's saying
and
doing
then there's
this.
also the potential of is it bad enough to need a corneal transplant?
Yeah, which is a whole
a whole different world. And if I need to get a corneal transplant, that would be the recovery. So that's where I'm at right now.
It's a daunting thing.
It's a little daunting. And it just is one of those things where the progression happens pretty swiftly.
Yeah.
And I've very much noticed it over the last couple months where I'm like, oh, it's getting way worse quickly.
Right.
Like I used to be like, well, it's a little bit of double vision. And now like when I'm reading an ad, for instance, I'm like Evan and I are having to pause every couple seconds because it's like, I can't it's double. I can't see anything with my contacts in. So that's kind of a long explanation of what's going on. So hopefully in the next like week or two, I will have some answers to what is maybe the best suggestion. The other thing that's really annoying about it too is because it's like not a super common thing.
Yeah.
It used to be considered rare and now it's more common.
Right.
I think they're not 100% sure where it comes from. They typically said it's genetic, but they also said there could be a connection. I have some autoimmune diseases, and so they said it could be a connection to my autoimmune disease. But it's not quite as rare anymore, but it's still not super common that like a lot of the procedures aren't covered by insurance, which is like insurance is all the health system in the United States of America is a whole other conversation. But again, hopefully we'll have some answers in the next couple weeks. Yeah. And once we do, I'll have to be getting it taken care of like ASAP, at least the stopping it. Maybe not the surgery yet, but at least the stopping it in its tracks now. And so prepare yourself, family. And I'm so sorry in advance, but prepare yourself if all of a sudden I gotta like an episode's gotta get canceled or get shifted around. And I'm so sorry in advance, but I gotta kind of prioritize
getting treatment for
the
this.
eyes, and then also prepare yourself that, I may show up, first of all, with new corneas during an episode, or, I'll be wearing my little Coke bottle glasses or big sunglasses after surgery or bandages or whatever. So anywho, that's the
not
that's
awesome.
The 411.
And we just, really it's just like, I guess, positive vibes and understanding if, there's things that need to be adjusted for that. And it's scary because it's your eyes. It's not like, it's like kind of unknown territory, and Jess has always struggled with her eyes. So the fact that like, there's a whole thing there. I don't know.
Yeah, because I always wanted to get LASIK, right? Because my vision's
and
so bad,
like,
but I can't get I've never been able to get LASIK because of like the specific type of shapes of my eye, and then also that's what the doctors had told me. And then I have dry eyes, so they're like, do not get LASIK, whatever. So I hadn't gotten that. But you know what?
Or if
we take it as
comes. And also if any one of you guys have struggled with this exact same thing too, like let us know, man. We're in the middle of getting educated too. So if you or someone you love has like related to this specific thing, like we'd love to hear any of your guys' suggestions or experiences or whatever, or do's or don'ts. I mean, just any information is really helpful right now.
That would be awesome. If you would know, if you have any information, your mom and dad podcast at gmail.com, because sometimes I'm not, often I'm not in my DMs and stuff. So
subject,
that would,
keratoconus or eye issues or eye problems or eye related anything. Yeah.
Because, there might be listeners out there who are like, oh, I've experienced this, or family member. And like, it's all good, girl. Like, because obviously hearing all these things, you hear worst case scenario, can feel a little overwhelming and scary.
Plus, you can kind of Google anything that, like, you know what I mean? You can Google the worst or best or whatever, so it becomes daunting.
I've been so proud of myself, by the way. We all know, well, actually, we don't all know this, but I am a Googler, a WebMD deluxe.
Yeah.
Like, it causes issues in my brain chemistry often, and I have refrained
Proud of you.
and stayed away from the Google, and I have let Evan do the research so that I don't freak out about it for no reason. I also like don't want to know details about the surgery or else I'll
freaks you,
I'll
pass
throw
out.
up.
Yeah, you put her feet up.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's like I'd rather not know what's going on and trust the process around me.
Yes.
Anywho.
Anyway, positive vibes there.
So there's that. So that's, you know, that's another issue why next week I'm not going to have an episode.
Yeah.
Also, wanted to address, as I said in last episode, wanted to talk about the schedule, our schedule recently. And I said like personally, because of some personal issues.
Yeah.
But I wanted to just have like a quick little moment because it's been a hot minute since we've talked to the family. And to be completely honest with you all, like, man, you know, the world, it's so rough right now. Like everything's so tough out there that typically I'm like, I want to come on here and
just make it positive.
And we live in like such a privileged position, and I'm so grateful for, like, you know, I mean, it's just so coming on sometimes and being like, so guys, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
But we wanted to come on and let you all know the schedule, if you haven't noticed, but the schedule, it's been a little all over the place. Sometimes there's a day where an episode drops on a different day than it normally would be. And sometimes instead of 2 episodes, there's 1 episode that week. And you all have just been like so standing by us, so faithful always, and such an amazing family over the years that we didn't want you to think that we were like slacking or bailing on stuff. Obviously, there's been Ember's been booked and busy. There's been all that type of stuff. But wanted to talk too about kind of why the schedule's been a little funky. You want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, like Jess said, I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's like randomly we'll have 2 episodes in 1 week and then 1, and then it'll be like 3 weeks in a row where there's just 1 and then no episode. And so definitely, like, if you're a listener or a watcher, if you've been with us for a while, like, you're definitely going to be like, oh yeah, it's kind of all over the place a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. It's probably frustrating too, so we want to apologize.
Yeah, about that. And we've always, I feel like, prided ourselves on being consistent and all that. Full transparency, podcasting isn't what it used to be. It's super competitive, and its margins are thinner, and it's harder to do. And it costs money to put out podcasts. There's editing and bills and all these things. So it requires that to put out every podcast every time. And because it's been more competitive, because it's been harder, we've had to prioritize a lot of my work. And I've had to take a lot more work and a lot more jobs and push and pinch harder to cover what the podcast used to cover. Yeah. And, you know, we've been so lucky to call this a job, and we've been
unbelievable.
Always loved putting so much energy and effort into it. But, you know, when it comes to that point when it doesn't cover what it used to cover, and with 2025 being what 2025 is, with bills and inflation, all this stuff, I've had to kind of put my focus and our focus on making sure that I can make up for it in a lot of different ways. And that messes with the schedule sometimes when I have to take something. Oh, it's on a normal day or travel, or I got to travel out of town when we'd normally be recording or whatever. So just wanted to kind of be honest about that and not just be like, hey, yeah, we're just slacking off, or hey, yeah, we're just busy, so we're just pushing episodes all around. It's like, no, it's because we've had to figure out other ways of making up. And that's not what we want. It's not our wishes. And we're going to be trying to think of ways to be creative to make up for that change. And we'll kind of keep you updated on kind of if we come up with ideas or if there's new updates. But just wanted to be honest about, you know, if we're a family, it's like, it's not always just fun, but like be honest about some of the struggles and some of the things that are tighter and not quite as, you know, I don't know, like easy as it used to be. So just wanted to be honest about that. And
here's the thing. It's like, you know, like Evan said, 2025, we're all out here in this economy.
Yeah, totally.
Like you all know, it's like things have just gotten so expensive, and And so, when the podcast costs money, and then if we're losing money on certain episodes, like, it has been that way for like a minute. And so sometimes we have to be like, okay, we gotta readjust because we gotta save up money for Jessica's eyes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes it's like that. And Evan's been amazing taking on extra work, and I've kind of been looking at some potential some different jobs as well. And with that being said, we're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like, we love doing this podcast. As of now, we are not going anywhere. We want to be with the family, and we're so, so grateful for all of you. Because you have literally all been with us, like, through so much, like every step of the way, Evan and I are like, okay, we just want to be honest with you all and just be transparent, just so you don't think that we're slacking on you, that we're like dipping out. We love you. Your mother and father are here for you, and we're not going anywhere, and we're not ignoring you. But we just apologize for any, it's a bummer when things don't come out when you expect an episode to come out, or things get delayed, or you think there's gonna be 2 episodes and there's 1. And we're so sorry about that. And thank you so much for having been so patient with us through Evan's busyness, because he's supporting the fam, and Ember's busyness for her passions, and me trying to find some other avenues and all that. But you all have been incredible, and we're so grateful for you. And we're also so grateful for our sponsors over the years. They've so many amazing sponsors who have stood by us. They're incredible. And we're also really lucky because we have a group of sponsors where we love their products.
100%.
So that's so great. So we're so grateful for all that. But anyway, like Evan said, the fact that we've been able to do this at all and call it a job is mind-blowing. And it's not going away. We're not going anywhere. So you tune in. There might not be an episode next week, but there's 2 to follow. So don't go anywhere. But the fact that we've had this opportunity is so incredible. And if it all ended tomorrow, it's like, this was unbelievable. The fact that we got to do something that we love doing as a job, and it's all because of you, family. And I'm not going to get emotional right now. Because I can't let these new contacts that are kind of fitting okay right now pop out of my eyes with my tears.
But just wanted to update you, because just kind of be honest about hey, this is kind of what we're working with. This is what we're working on. This is what we're struggling with. Kind of be honest about some of this stuff. So we'll keep you updated as things develop, or if there's new ideas that come up to kind of help with this. But anyway, just wanted to kind of let you know and keep you guys in the loop.
Yeah, and we love you, and we're so grateful for you.
That's our call home.
Love that.
Whoa.
You all have really made our lives pretty damn special the past 7-ish years. So,
all right. We love you guys.
Uh-oh, Mom's going to start crying. Okay, can you turn on a call home before I start
let's do it.
crying,
Let's do it.
please?
Here we go.
Okay.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
This is your faithful daughter, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Just calling in here, nervy, because I feel like I know you and you have no clue who I am. But
we love
I'm
you.
just gonna go for it. I feel like I've sent in a couple of these throughout the years, and it's been probably a similar question that's been evolving as things have changed. But anyway, I'm gonna dive in. So basically, I've been with my partner for coming on 9 years now.
Wow.
Really excited to get your thoughts, because I don't know many other people in long-term relationships that are still in them and happy. So yeah, you are one of those couples that I quote unquote know. Anyway, we've been together for a long time, and basically during these years, I had, my bisexual awakening late, as it happens, and it kind of threw me as it as it would, and yeah, we went through some tough times, but ultimately we kind of worked it out. But still stayed together, and didn't end up exploring that side of myself as was kind of in the cards for a little bit. But basically I've just found it very hard to know this side of myself and explore and understand this side of myself. And it's not really like I am ready to go out and bang a bunch of girls, but I'm kind of just who am I in the world as this new person?
Yeah.
Like, what is my role? What does kind of masculinity and femininity look like?
Mm.
All of these things that I don't really know how to understand or learn about myself while I'm in a relationship. And I would love to get your take, both of your takes on this from both sides, because I know that Jess, you also love the ladies, and I don't know if you've acted on this. Maybe you don't feel comfortable saying anything, that's fine. But like, what would you recommend to me besides like opening up my relationship? Because I don't feel like that would work for me personally. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. Love you. Okay, goodbye.
Love you, Rebecca. First of all, congratulations on your bisexual awakening. We love snaps.
Snap,
We
snap,
love
snap,
hearing-
snap, snap.
Okay, so I'm going to start rattling off some of my thoughts, first of all. First and foremost, I just want to say this to just validate you, that you do not need to have experienced physical intimacy with a woman to affirm your sexuality, right? So it's I know that you're saying you're having all of these feelings that you're kind of struggling with, where it's like, oh, you haven't had certain experiences, but just wanted to like just, you know, affirm that for you, that it is not necessary for anyone to ever have had any sort of physical intimacy to confirm what their sexual identity is, okay? So when I'm hearing from you that you don't want to have an open relationship and that you had your partner for 9 years, you had mentioned that when you had your bisexual awakening that you were going through some struggles, but you all kind of figured it out. So obviously I'm not 100% sure if that's connected to your bisexual awakening, if your partner was like processing that and that was the struggles that you all were working through, if it was something like you were wanting to go and have certain physical experiences and your partner wasn't comfortable with that, or if the struggles you were having were completely separate from that. So I'm not 100% sure. But from what you said at the end, you're not looking to open your relationship. So what I would say to you as a bisexual woman is that there are ways that you can be part of the community without having to open your relationship, right? So I don't know where you're located, but I'll tell you, in Los Angeles, there are so many amazing queer events that go on, so many like safe, amazing spaces for queer people. God, especially in current times with this fucking current administration, like being around community with other people. I would imagine if you did some research, again, depending on where you are, I don't know if you're maybe in a smaller town where it's harder to access, but if you're in a bigger city, there are places that you can reach out to, and even just online communities that you're like, hey, we have this camaraderie. We're a group of bisexual women. We're a group of queer people who are in a similar situation. I can almost guarantee you that there are spaces there specifically out there for people in your exact situation. Also, there are ways that you can explore your bisexuality on your own if the opening of the relationship you're not comfortable with. For example, as someone who is an avid spicy reader, I have enjoyed some books, if you know what I mean. There are some great sapphic romances out there that you can dive into, that you with yourself can enjoy in many different ways and experience that and lean into that. There's also some, you know, amazing audio erotica that you can dive into. I think there are different ways that you can, because, you know, I don't want to be projecting, but kind of the feeling that I'm getting from you is that you're struggling with like the desire to want to really like sink into that part of your identity, but you can't currently in the relationship. You all aren't comfortable with you physically engaging in that identity. Just know it is your identity already. You're bisexual. That's who you are. So it is your identity. It's not something that you have to prove, but it's something that you can enjoy. And there are ways that you can enjoy it by participating in the community, by leaning into certain types of romance and literature and art that's queer. There are a lot of different ways that you can fall into that. And that's a lot of what I did myself. You know, when Evan and I had our first conversation where I'm like, please, I've known that I'm bi for pretty much most of my entire life, but because of the very conservative Christian community that I was in, I never felt safe really going there. And a lot of our first conversations looked like, you know, me leaning into participating in a lot of queer community events.
Yeah.
And I found like so many of my people there. Like I found so many amazing people. And even if I wasn't getting physically involved with anyone, I was having like, it wasn't about that. It was about making friendships with people who are having similar experiences to what I am. Right. So those are a few thoughts.
Yeah, no, I'm not one to speak into that side of it. I can just speak to maybe your partner's side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be like, I would just communicate as much as you can. I think it's like a growth thing too. Like your partner's gonna like at first it's maybe jarring for them, and I can hear it in your voice almost that there's kind of that. So like the more that you talk about it, the more it'll become normalized, the more it'll be, you know, your partner maybe can kind of like work through different things and talk to you about their concerns or their excitements or their wishes for you or whatever. And it's like working on it to, if, you know, 9 years, that's a serious partner.
Yeah.
And if you love each other, and it's like love each other through communication and kind of like education and working through that. So like, I think the worst thing you could do is kind of keep it buried, live a secretive life. You know what I mean? So just like, and if there's a problem when it comes to being honest and open, then maybe you've identified some issues in your relationship that you need to work on or move out of or whatever. But like, what you don't want is like not communication, and there's secrets, and then there's feelings of distrust. And it's like, just be very open, very communicative. It'll grow over time. You'll be revealed to more information about each other and about what you should be doing the more you just kind of communicate. So I wouldn't feel like this rush to be like, now I've kind of identified this about myself. Now it's time to just run. It's like there's this level of like, okay, I've identified this. I feel these things. Okay, let's take our time and evolve together and figure this thing out.
Right.
If the relationship means something to you, which it seems like it does. So
right.
Openness, communication, education, conversations. I think the whole thing will go a lot smoother that way.
Yeah. And I do think too, when you are discussing this with your partner, and by the way, when I'm saying this, I'm not attempting to call your partner out at all. But I think because of, unfortunately, this culture that we've been raised in, is there's this concept of when someone is with a partner and all of a sudden they come out as fluid or bisexual and it's new to the partner, there's this feeling of like nervousness from the partner. And again, I'm not trying to call your partner out, but it is, we have to like start to examine, like it's rooted in homophobia. Because, you know, for instance, it's like when I told Evan, it's like I'm bisexual, right? There's this idea of like, okay, well, you thought that I was straight, which means that I'm also attracted to other men.
Right.
But you're not sitting there going, well, shit, are you going to leave me for another guy now?
Right.
It's the same thing as me saying I'm bisexual. It's
Right.
like, no, I'm in love with you and you and I have our relationship. I'm also attracted to, you know, other women or people of different genders, right?
Right.
So there's like an examining there that we have to really start, where it's like that hard wiring in our culture that has like deep rooted homophobia in it, where you're like, that we all have to kind of process through, where it's like, why is it different?
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously, if you were to come to your partner out of the clouds and be like, just FYI, I want an open relationship, and your partner's like kind of shook, it's like, yes, of course, that's going to be a big jump if you were monogamous before, to be like, hey, I want a full blown, you know, open relationship. That's a big process. But I think it's important too to like, and obviously gently with yourself and with your partner, examine kind of where those roots are in our culture with homophobia, with why we might have certain reactions, and working through that will really, like, I know with us, like, it really opened up where it's like, oh yeah, but of course it's all good. It's who I am. It's my identity. Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't change anything between my husband and I.
No, and but I think it grows. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like the first time someone tells you anything versus
of course
once you've talked about it for 3 years. But it's like communication, open honesty. Maybe your partner feels like now they can trust you because of all the communication. Oh, interesting. Oh, I never thought about it that way. Oh, this really helps me. I'm not that way, so it doesn't make sense to me. But through all this education and through all this communication, now it makes a lot more sense. Now I'm being, you know what I mean? So it's all about that. We can't expect people to understand everything all the time. Some people struggle more than others, but we also can really help people grow through these things too. Totally. So I just really recommend like loving each other through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring them along your journey.
Yeah. And, you know, if it's something where for you, you feel like you have this need where you're like, it's something that I need to have experienced physical intimacy. And obviously it sounds like that's not something your partner's comfortable with. As hard as it is, like, again, I wouldn't, kick it into gear and make any like quick decisions,
right.
But keep that in your head and slowly process through that and work through that, because that isn't something either that you want to like be sitting with and be like, I need this and I'm with someone who's not comfortable with this, but I will need this and I need this. And then it starts to
fester
and you want to be able to be yourself as well and see what that looks like with your partner. So by no means am I saying like go make some big decision, in that way, but it's just something to like keep in the back of your mind as well.
For sure.
But sending you so many well wishes. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Should we go to the next one?
Yes, let's do it. Here we go.
A question for Jess specifically. I think I've asked this. I've sent in a question before, so I'm hoping maybe this one gets to you guys.
Okay.
But I've always been really curious, Jess, how you've dealt with jealousy issues. I'm a long-time listener from the Chatty Broads, and I remember one episode a while back, you had mentioned the jealousy issues between yourself and Becca, and said that you dealt with it and figured out how to get past that. And I was hoping to hear your thoughts and your tips and your tricks and what worked for you, how you don't feel jealous or mistrusting in your intimate relationships. It's just something I've always struggled with. I have a wonderful, loving, fantastic, emotionally intelligent husband. We've been together for 10 years, married, and I've gotten better, but I still have those trust issues deep inside of me from previous relationships where I haven't been treated super well. So I'm really curious to hear what has worked for you, Jess, because I really appreciate your guys' relationship. And thank you very much.
First of all, I'm so sorry that you've had to experience relationships where you had people who weren't treating you well. That's just, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And so, number one, be kind to yourself when you are dealing with these trust issues and these jealousy issues. Know that you're like, shit, I've been through a lot and I'm doing pretty damn good. Yeah. So number one, we affirm ourselves that we're doing pretty damn good. And also let me make something clear. I haven't like completely conquered my jealousy.
Fully conquered.
I'm fully healed from my jealousy. I'm definitely not. It definitely comes up. It's still like a knee-jerk feeling that I feel, and sometimes it still rears its head, especially when I'm in kind of like delicate spaces. I've noticed for sure when I'm feeling like kind of down, it'll pop back up. But I'm no expert in this and I'm no doctor, so take this for what it's worth, but I'll give you some tips for like things that helped me. We actually had a conversation about this a couple days ago when I was talking to you about seeing like a beautiful woman.
Okay.
So, here's an example. When Evan and I would be out or we'd go, to a party and there was a new woman that was introduced to us. My initial feelings used to be like I would feel the jealousy bubbling up in my body, and I'd be like, I wonder if Evan notices how hot this woman is, okay?
Which I never did.
Which, of course, he never did. So I'd be like,
never noticed.
I'd be like, I wonder if he notices.
Yeah.
And of course, in that feeling of that curiosity, you're like, no shit, he of course he notices.
Yeah.
But then there's that dread of like, what if he starts to compare? And you have all those yucky feelings that start to bubble up. So what I used to do is I'd like see said beautiful woman, think, I wonder if Evan notices her, and then watch him like a hawk to see how he's physically engaging with said beautiful woman.
Right.
Instead, what I started to do is I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the power in this situation and I'm going to speak truth before it can even be out there. So I started to do this, and I still do this to this day. And now I just like, when I say it, I just genuinely mean it. Also, leaning into my bisexuality doesn't hurt the thing too. Now I'm like, oh yes. But now if I see a beautiful woman, I'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, she has like, I absolutely love her hair. Like, look at how absolutely stunning that woman is. Like, I will verbally acknowledge it out loud to myself, or to Evan or whoever, but I will verbally just be like, I will speak the truth and be like, yes, she is, and kind of leave it at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that started to kind of help like take the power away from like oh my God, it's forbidden. Because at least how we were raised in our very like conservative Christian homes was this idea of, never look upon another. Right. And if you look upon another, if you lust with your eyes, then you've committed adultery. And it's like, listen, we all are aware when we find someone attractive, and it can simply end there.
Right.
But like, we're all human beings, and we're all going to see people that we find to be attractive, and it can literally end there. So I had to start really like working through that. And then I started thinking about myself, and I was like, how often do I see somebody, for example, said beautiful woman, and see that person and then go, I think I'm going to cheat on my husband with that person, or I think I'm going to leave my husband. It's like, no, you can acknowledge somebody, think they're attractive, and move on, right? And so I started to process things that way. Another tip is what I used to do, and I'm not proud of it. Please don't judge me. I'm putting myself out here vulnerably. But I used to snoop. I used to search history snoop. I used to kind of text snoop.
Oh, you mean like on my stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know this isn't a surprise. But I used to snoop. And what I started to learn is that you will always hurt your own feelings when you snoop, because you're looking for something to hurt your feelings.
Right.
So, for instance, if I snoop on Evan's computer and I happen to see an adult video pop up, and the individual doesn't look like me, I'm gonna hurt. It's even though I know it's still gonna hurt my feelings. It's gonna be a little bit like, well, why did you? And why? It's like, no, this is his personal time and space. Okay, we can have a vast variety of finding people attractive, and I know I'm gonna hurt my own feelings, or I'm gonna see a text message that, again, like you were saying, your partner is someone who's faithful and has done nothing to show you otherwise. I have a husband here who has been so faithful, so forthcoming with me, has never faltered, not a moment. And yet I'm putting all this shit on him because like I inevitably will, if I dig, even with your pure heart, I'll find something that's going to hurt my feelings.
Sure.
I find a text message all of a sudden that's kind of like, oh, I feel like in that text message to your guy friend, you didn't sound like you were excited to hang out with me. Even things that are minuscule like that. So I said, Jessica, you need to stop with the snooping, because number one, not okay. It's his property and his privacy, and we need to trust each other if we're going to be in this relationship, right? Because he hasn't, I don't have a partner who has proved otherwise where I feel like I need to check in. Right. So he's earned my trust, so I shouldn't be snooping. And number two, it's just going to hurt your feelings, even if there's really nothing at all. Those are two like simple tricks that I started doing that started to really like help me process my jealousy. Again, I am no doctor, and I'm sure there's problems with what I just said, but those helped me on my journey. Yeah. And then just a lot of self-examination into where my jealousy came from. when I'd feel the jealous feeling coming up, I would really have to snap myself back into the reality of who my husband is. Am I thinking about Evan, or am I thinking about that past thing with my family? Am I thinking about Evan, or am I thinking about that past relationship with my ex?
Yeah.
Like all that, be like, okay, this is a different person. This is a different person. And I cannot control, no matter what I do, if someone's gonna cheat. There is that element there that I had to kind of process through too, where it's like, I can't fully control somebody. So I have to let go and be aware of myself and be aware of, am I with a partner who's trustworthy? And if I feel I have a trustworthy partner, then what good is it going to do with me taking up all this extra space in my head that I'm torturing myself with feeling jealous, when I'm like, maybe I just be like, I'm a catch too.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Anywho.
Yeah. 2 quick thoughts in addition to that is number one, the more jealous you act, it's like holding onto something that the quicker it's going to slip from your grip. So like if you and your partner walk into a party and there's another beautiful person there you think they would be attracted to, and you're like Hawkeye watching, better not look at her. Well, now she's like forbidden fruit. You can't look, but you want to look. If you remove the danger, you go, oh yeah. And then you look away because it's no longer this like, you're not allowed to thing. So you kind of like de-weaponize the whole experience too. I can tell you from firsthand, when Jess kind of switched the script, I felt way more free in our relationship. I felt way less like temptation even, because it's like no longer like, there are things forbidden or interesting. It's like, oh, she's, you know what I mean? I have my own autonomy. So it's like, oh, of course I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to do anything. But when someone's like telling you better not, it's kind of like this.
Then you kind of want to.
You kind of want to, right?
Sure.
And then secondly too, is it's like, do you want the reason why your partner doesn't cheat on you is because you like watched them like a hawk and didn't let them?
Ooh, that's very good.
Or do you want it to be like, no, if they cheat on you, right? Like let's just be honest. That's the fear, right? They're cheating on you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wouldn't you rather have been happy and then find out they cheated on you and then be like, wow, what a devastation. Either I leave you or we work through this. Then I tortured myself and they might end up cheating anyways. Or they didn't cheat. And the only reason they didn't is because I tortured all of us through my possessiveness and jealousy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're suffering, they're suffering. It's like,
and the panic then of like, I can't let my foot off the brake,
or else my life's gonna fall.
Or else they might cheat.
And it's
you're
like that is not the point, right? The
Yeah.
point is not to hold on to someone. The point is to be a partnership with someone. So you shouldn't even be with them anyway if the only reason they're not doing this bad thing is because you're not allowing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like,
it's very good.
Would you want to be that way? No. You'd want to be left freedom, and you're an adult and you should be allowed to make your own decisions. You know what I mean? So all that being said, these are large swaths. These aren't like specific things, but like I will say, you know, jealousy comes from like the fear of the unknown, the fear of being betrayed. And it's all that. It's like, that's super real. But also at the same time, it's like, it's just fear. So we don't know what's happening, what's not happening, but like you have to just change your dynamic on like, wait, you've given them all the power. It's like they're in control of my worth. They're in control of my fears. They're in control. Their actions will change whether I feel good or bad about myself. It's like, no, you have to work on the idea that like you know what I mean? Like you're your own person and they are not in control of how your worth goes, you know?
It's very good.
That's my thought. Good. One last one?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
Super big fan of the show. Love you guys. Jess, I need you to make an episode all about the romantasy you've been reading, have read, are reading, etc. ASAP, please. But my real question is, because my actual mother didn't give me an answer I loved, but I have a friend. We've probably seen each other once in the last 8 years. We really don't catch up. We really don't talk at all. But I've been invited to her wedding in an expensive city. It's a black tie wedding, and we don't have any mutual friends. So I wouldn't know anyone at this wedding, and I would have to travel and kind of doing the math. It would be an expensive event. And I'm kind of at the stage of my life where I don't love spending money on things that I'm not 100% in on. And so I was going to go, but now a really great group of friends of mine have invited me on a trip to go to an exotic location, and doing the numbers to go on an even longer vacation with really great friends would almost be the same price as going to this wedding. So, thoughts are, oh, and both events are going to fall on my birthday. So, do I go to the wedding because I was technically invited first, although formal invitations have not been sent out? Or do I, go with my heart? And you can probably tell which one I actually want to do. And if I actually don't go to the wedding, do you think I owe an explanation to my friend, or can I simply decline the wedding invite and not offer any explanation? Thoughts?
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a great question because I'm feeling like I have feelings.
Did she say how close she was?
Seen this friend one time in the last 8 years.
Oh.
Like not for, and I'm reading into this.
Sorry, I got work.
Unless unless this is a friend that you're like, oh, I just because we live far away.
Right.
We talk numerous times a week. Or we'd like talk once a week, but I just haven't seen them in person in 8 years. That's a different energy than like
8 years though. Like that's a long time. It's
one time in 8 years is
even if
pretty
they're
intense.
like close. You know what I mean? You're not that close if you haven't seen them in 8 years.
I don't know if this makes me bad to say this to you, but I'm a little bit like, go on your vacation.
Well, no, I say go on the vacation.
Go on the vacation.
I think that's a no-brainer. If this is one person from college you haven't seen in 8 years, and you guys talk, we did DM once a year, and they invite you at a wedding, and it's kind of like, you weren't even expecting whatever.
They said as well, don't know anybody going, so you're going solo on your birthday.
They, at the end of the day, they got so much going on. Unless you guys are that close, it's not going to be a big deal. I don't think you owe them like a guys, technically the cost and the this and the that. Hey, it's your birthday and you have a birthday trip planned. Doesn't it's okay. Like you just need to say, I wish I could be there. Oh man. Because you do wish you could be there, right? If it was down the street, you'd go.
Sure.
So it's like, you wish you could be there. It's going to cost a lot of money.
If it didn't cost
work
anything,
out.
you'd go. Yeah. Sure.
And so it's one of those things, be like, love you so much. Oh my gosh, I wish I could be there. It doesn't work out scheduling for me, but send a gift and send them your love and bam. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it requires, there's a lot of people that can't make weddings. And people who are close to people can't make weddings, where it's like, I got work, or
or it's just too expensive,
or whatever. Shit happens. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't overdo it. I wouldn't over explain. I would just be like, love you so much. I'm so honored that you invited me. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna send you a gift, but unfortunately I won't be able to make the wedding. Obviously, the fact that it's a destination wedding is huge too. Like that's really helpful for you.
Yeah.
It's down the street, and then you couldn't go, and you wanted to go on this trip. Now you're in a lot more difficult.
It's a bit of a pickle,
but the fact that like it's across state lines and you got to fly and go, it's like that's actually a perfect out for you.
Yeah, I agree with Evan. I don't think you owe an explanation. Obviously, if your friend digs, then I wouldn't lie to your friend. But
or just maybe ease up on the posting. Maybe just don't be like posting you on a boat the day of their wedding. I mean, look again. It's you can do whatever the hell you want. It's your trip. It's your birthday.
It's your life.
Listen. Let's be honest. What if it was your birthday? What if the birthday was planned, booked, locked in? All your friends took time off, and it was for your birthday, and then they invited you to a wedding. Still a legitimate reason not to go to their wedding. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, if the birthday trip was planned 2 months before the birthday, the wedding invitation came out.
Yeah.
And people are already booked their work off and put deposits down on the hotel and the boat and the whole thing, right? Because her war was a little bit the fact that like she got like an informal invite before the other thing got planned and stuff like that. So it's like, it's still a legitimate reason not to go. It's your birthday. It's a birthday trip. It's awesome, So I wouldn't even feel bad about posting. It's just more like, if you kind of explain to them, I wish I could go, I'm going to be out of town already even. You could, bam, you're good,
For me, all I can think about is like, if I'm the bride and I have a friend who, I don't see often, I care about them, but I don't see them often, and I invited them to the wedding, I would want the friend to do what's going to make them the most happy.
I don't want them coming if they don't want to come. Are you kidding me?
And it's not even it's like, but I don't want if I find out that it's a stress financially for you, that you have it's on your birthday and you have this other amazing opportunity. I want you, because I love you, to do what's going to bring you the most happiness. And will I miss you? For sure. But like Evan said, there's so much going on in the wedding. You're juggling a million other things. As the bride, I'd be like, go. So if I were you, I agree with Evan.
It'd be a little different if you were like in the wedding. You know what I mean? But like you just being like a single person going to a wedding and you don't know anyone there.
Yeah.
You have the ultimate out.
I would hope that then your friend would understand.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
I think that's kind of a good friend thing to do, would be understand your circumstance with the money and not knowing anybody and having to travel.
That's already a big ask for you to go solo anyways. It is a big ask,
and maybe the only reason.
They might not even expecting you to say yes.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Your friend might literally be like, well, I don't want her to get her feelings hurt, but I also don't want her to feel like she needs to come. But I'm going to send you an invite anyway, so you don't feel like, oh, I'm not inviting you. Like, it might be like that. But yeah, if I were you, I'd book your trip. I'd have fun with your friends on your birthday at this other location.
Send them a gift.
I would definitely,
so you feel like they're honored.
I would definitely send a card and a gift. Nothing. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but even just like a card or whatever, just something, to just acknowledge their day. And I would tell your friend like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. And like Evan said, I wish I could be there, but I do have plans. You can just say, I'm going to be out of the country.
I'm going to be out of town.
Just say, I'm going to be out of the country.
Exactly.
Boom. There you go.
Done.
I don't think it's going to get more complicated than that.
Agreed.
But anywho, family,
Love
it was so nice to hear from you. It was so nice to hear. And there, per usual, there are more call homes that hopefully we can get to at another point. But in the meantime, please remember, no episode next week. But please tune in, and I'll try to remember to be posting on social media too. Tune in, not next week, but the week of September 1st for a Love Island reunion recap and a BIP episode 9 and 10 recap from your parents here. And we love you all, and we're so, so very grateful for you. And thanks for being flexible and wonderful with us. And you mean the world to us.
Love you all.
Have a beautiful weekend, okay?
We'll see you in a bit.
Mwah. Bye.